Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for another positive spin. Today, we're going to be talking about the Star Wars Holiday Special. A big thank you to Joe for making me a copy of this. I really enjoyed it. Now, my relationship with this film is kind of complicated. I did watch this when I was about 7 years old because this aired on November 17th or 18th, maybe even the 19th. I can't remember, but it was around that time in 1978, which would have made me 7 years old and a certifiable Star Wars fanatic. Now, I remember some of this, and I remember being very disappointed because my 7-year-old brain wanted, as Joe put it, lightsaber battles and stormtrooper gunfights and flying dog fights in the ships and stuff like that. And as a 7-year-old, and there's a reason why I'm emphasizing this, as a 7-year-old, I didn't understand why that wasn't part of the holiday special. That's not how holiday specials were constructed back then. And I'll be honest, growing up and realizing the way things are and not the way you want things to be, it was a very fun watch and kind of brought out some emotions in me that I didn't think were even there anymore. So let's put a positive spin on the Star Wars Holiday Special. Of course, it starts out with Han and Chewie going into light speed after fleeing from the destroyers, the Star Destroyers, in order to get Chewie home for Life Day. Now, Chewie's going back home, and this has the characters of his wife named Mala, I believe. It has his father, which is Itchy, I think, and his son, which is Lumpy. I'm actually surprised I remembered all those names. And that's the basic story behind the Star Wars Holiday Special. Now, in between, you get, of course, a cooking, like a cooking channel show where Amala's making dinner, and we get guests like Harvey Korman, who was brilliant in this. He such a staple of my childhood, and he just did a fantastic job in this. Yes, it was silly, but who cares? It's a Star Wars Holiday Special. And you also get a cartoon, which is another one of my big time positives, where you get the very first appearance of Boba Fett. And watching this, it was like all coming back to me at one time. And of course, I didn't remember everything, but it was pretty cool. Diane Carroll singing is very good. This thing has a dreamlike quality. A lot of the parts in this have a really weird dreamlike quality. And there are some weird segments in it, like the dancing, whatever the heck they were, when they were looking at the table where Chewbacca played the monster chess in Star Wars. They had these dancing little, I don't want to call them fairies, but they were like little, I don't even know what they were. I don't even know how to explain it, but, that was kind of weird. Of course, didn't really appeal to me all that much, but I understand why they put it on there. You have Princess Leia actually singing at the end, and I've always heard bad things about it, but she sounded great to me. I don't understand the hate that this gets. Yes, you don't necessarily get what I was after as a 7-year-old kid, but that's not how holiday specials work. That's never been how they work. You're not going to get a Star Wars movie in a holiday special. It's just not realistic, and it's not what's going to happen. That's a very immature way of looking at something like that. That was my 7-year-old brain. That's what my 7-year-old brain thinks. I think a lot of people should be a lot more mature by now to notice that, to know that that's not exactly how things work in life. And that's what kind of bothers me about all the hate that this gets. And I will be honest, yes, the holiday special is a little bit goofy at times, but I don't know how you claim to be a Star Wars fan and not like this special. Okay, let's go over some of the other parts. You have one of the Golden Girls, of course, playing a bartender in the cantina. And the detail that they went into with this part absolutely blew me away. And this is when I started to get mad about all the hate that this gets. First of all, the cantina was one of the more creative and one of the most talked about parts of the original Star Wars. And the fact that they brought that back, not only the set, which was really cool, but you had Snaggletooth, you had Walrus Man, you had Hammerhead, you had actual creatures from the Star Wars film. They didn't have to do that, and a lot of the holiday shows didn't. I remember seeing a Star Wars special. This was a long time ago. This was during the day. I think it was like a Saturday morning thing where they had, this is when Star Wars was becoming really popular. And they had C3PO and R2D2. And of course, they had Anthony Daniels playing C3PO. But then they had a Luke Skywalker that wasn't Mark Hamill. Now, I don't know if that was when he had his accident and he couldn't do the show, but you had this dime store Luke Skywalker. That's not what you get in this. You get Harrison Ford, you get Mark Hamill, you get Chewbacca, you get stormtroopers. I just don't understand where the hate comes from. This was a really nice, really cool holiday special. And it has a theme, the whole theme of Life Day with the Wookiees. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to explain. And the more I watched it, the madder I got. I mean, I understand being a kid, and I'm going to reiterate this again. I understand being a kid and being disappointed, but I think this was spectacular. I love this. It was so nostalgic for me to watch this again. And not just relying on nostalgia, because there were some that I didn't even remember. It's just a great holiday special. And here's the last thing I wanted to go over. Joe had two different versions of this. He had the one with commercials and the one without commercials. And of course, being that I saw this on television back in the day, I wanted the one with commercials just to look and see what was going on back then, because I couldn't remember, It's fun to take a look back. It's like a time capsule. And when they paused, or right before the holiday special thing came on for station identification, I realized that it was WMAR Channel 2, Baltimore. And realized that this was actually the station I watched this on back in 1978. And I thought that was so cool. And it blew me away. It was kind of the cherry on top, if you will. This holiday special is fantastic. I can understand maybe not liking, some of the Life Day stuff, or maybe thinking it was a little goofy. But I don't know how you could be a Star Wars fan and not enjoy what they gave you. Because this, in my opinion, went above and beyond, and I absolutely loved it. And this is my positive spin on the Star Wars holiday special. What did you think? I know this gets a lot of hate, but boy, did I really enjoy seeing this again after all this time. It was it left me on a high. It really did. Don't forget to check out Joe's Positive Spin, and if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time. Peace.